friends, May Flom here. Today you're in the studio, you're about 90 degrees from normal. You see some empty lists right up here? One of those that I just tore down actually had a list of things May's gonna hand make for gifts for the holidays. It got torn down because we're just not doing that this year. It's after Thanksgiving. I haven't started. I'm feeling stress, I'm feeling pressure, and guess what? When that happens, I pull out one of my journals and I start writing about like what's stressing me out or what's like weighing on my mind. And handmade gifts, handmade gifts, handmade gifts. It keeps popping up on there. And I started thinking about it. It's like, well, it's a lovely idea and I love making handmade gifts. But let's all remember there's not actually a requirement on that. There's nothing in law that says I have to make handmade gifts every year or that this year I have to make X amount. I have a better idea. I'll share that in another video as I make it. But basically it's going to be like a little handmade tag around a little bouquet of flowers. And I'm just going to get some big bouquets of flowers, chop them up into little bouquets, put them in little mason jars. There we go. That's the solution. That's going to be easy. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fun. I'm going to like doing it. I'm going to feel good doing it. I'm going to feel like I did something. But it's not going to take weeks and months that the handmade felt ornaments based off of everybody's pets was going to take. I've done that in the past. It's a lot of fun. This isn't the year. So if you're sitting here thinking, okay, well, May, that's a whole minute on Christmas and what you're not doing, what's this video about? Well, I mentioned my journal. I mentioned that I've been working things through. I use Archer and Olive journals and I have a lot. You haven't seen me use a lot because it's been a lot of mental and physical health journaling, documenting, and very private personal things, which I don't share on social media so much or at all, depending. But as I've worked through some really difficult times and some really big problems, I found that there's some things that I've learned that I feel like maybe would be helpful to other people to hear or to normalize. And I've wanted to share and I've started kind of formulating that. Then Archer and Olive reached out and invited me to be one of their brand ambassadors. And I thought they have a focus on mental health and wellness and like the joy of journaling. And they're a beautiful product, a very high quality product. I'll show you some of those. Why not? So let me show you some of their products that they sent. Some of them are also going to be from my stash. And yes, if you heard you hear that? Yeah, there's chaos in here. Guys, it's chaos. You can't even begin with the chaos in this room. So let's take a look at some pretty journals and some pretty products that really bring a lot to my life. These are some products sent to me by Archer and Olive as a welcome as one of their brand ambassadors. We've got pens, we've got washi tapes, we've got journals. This is so much fun and I'm loving adding to my stash, obviously, because you know me, you know I love my creative supplies. I love their packaging always. It's always beautiful and it always feels like such a treat to get anything from them. Here is the first journal they sent me. We open it up here and I would say this is my favorite, except I love so many journals and I love how these are boxed. We're going to actually do a video later this month on how to reuse these boxes as gift boxes because they're just so lovely. And I love that every single time you get this message about wellness and creativity tools and just so many resources that they provide. So it's really should be no shock that I very happily partnered with them. You can see beautiful cover, beautiful inside, and then these are all dot grid notebooks. So that means there's little tiny dots all over. Now here's the thing. I have really come to only want this for two reasons. Number one, something about those dots being there takes away the blank page syndrome for me, takes away the fear of messing up a beautiful notebook or page that's empty. Two, if I want to write, there's the lines to keep me straight. My writing is never straight. That helps me a great deal. Three, I just go all over the place with it and sometimes use the grid, sometimes don't. It's just been a real favorite. Now this is, maybe this is my favorite, but you know what? It's that color because that hue of purpley pinkish, just delightful is
my favorite color, period. I have shirts that color. I don't think I'll ever use this one just because I'm going to want to just look at it all beautiful and pristine. That's not really true. I'll use it at some point, but you get my meaning. The other thing I really appreciate about their papers is they are so thick. So I can go wild on them and I'm not going to have to worry about every little pen mark showing through or the paper tearing because it's weak and cheap and thin. It's not. It's thick and beautiful. Now this right here, this is my most used thing ever. And let me pull out and show you. This is my much loved one that I purchased long ago. So these tear and I use these a lot. They tear off and this is what I use for what I call temporary. I'm project planning. I'm making a list. I need to know all the different things I need to accomplish this week, or I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need to just jot out usually lists, but these are fantastic because the paper tears right off. So I'm just able to tear and go, or I need to give somebody else something to go. Tear and go. I'm testing pens out. Guess what? These are great because I can test and it's that high quality Archer and Olive paper. Really just a fantastic thing. Now, this is my new favorite. I didn't know this was a thing. This is a fine writing pen and new to me, but oh my gosh, it's like butter. It's so beautiful. And I just have the very best time with it. So this one, I'm like, okay, well, wherever I got to hide you somewhere safe from myself so that you don't get lost in the chaos that is my studio because you're just so pretty and so much fun. And really for me, when it comes to journaling, notebook things, planners, all of that, what is helping me? What is making my life good? What is making my life better? What is adding to what I'm doing? And here I'm testing another pen. And you know what? Sometimes my journaling is stuff like this. I'm testing pens. I'm playing with an idea. I am not one to require myself to have a format or pre-think or pre-plan. I am one to just, well, what's the vibe today? Well, the vibe today is we're going to be testing pens and doodling. Cool. You can call it an art journal. You can call it, I wouldn't call mine a diary in any way, shape, or form, but my journaling habits tend to be eclectic and frequent. There's a lot of good that comes through this for me in plotting creative projects, in working through mental health, and so much more. And as you can see, absolutely beautiful products sent my way. Thank you, Archer and Olive. I'm so excited to be on the team.
So that's the introduction. That's the peekaboo at what's been going on. I've got some links below in the video if you want to go check them out. I personally am really addicted to, for me, you know me, I like good companies. I like companies that are run by good people. I like quality products. So these are definitely it for me. This is my number one though. I don't see my, oh, there he is. There you are. My rainbow one. So I've got a white one and a rainbow one. Which one gets used is which one is found on my desk. It's very rare that they're both at the same time, but I'm going to make a couple of lists. One list is going to be the Black Friday weekend sales and prior, but orders I've made. I'm going to make a list of orders I've made that's going to actually go up on here on this wall so that I can mark off as I receive packages that the things I ordered actually got here. The second thing, the second list is going to be people. I'm going to keep that more private. People I've shopped for, what I've purchased them, so that it's a small list. But when I go to do additional shopping in the next couple weeks, I can look at the list and say, you know, my daughter Elizabeth has only 2 items that I've gotten. I want to get her something else, but Rebecca has 27. Not real numbers, obviously, but you get my point. Like being able to kind of look at who's got what and what I've already ordered for who. So I've got a visual on a reminder. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it upbeat. And if you've got questions, if there's things you want to know about my journaling process or recommendations or anything like that, drop me a comment or just want to say hi. Love comments. Drop me a comment. I'm going to work on some content. I'm not going to share my raw journaling because that's private and I don't want to. But I will share some things that I work through, some things that I'm going through, and some struggles that are coming to an end thanks to largely thanks to my journaling habit and my daily habits of self-care. So we will touch on that, and we will get back to crafting here as well. And again, I will be sharing lots of great ideas with you that are simple, that are easy, that are fun, that don't stress me out or take a ton of time. I'm also going to be sharing with you how my journals are my new scrapbooks. That's a whole new thing that I'm doing, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be great. It's going to take up a lot less room. It's going to be a lot more dialogue, a lot more in the moment conversational, which I'm pretty excited about. So stay tuned for all of that. And if there's anything you'd like to see, drop me a comment, let me know.